The exact date was April 16th, 2016, almost 3 years to the date from Jessica's disappearance. On this particular morning, 16-year-old Madison Nygard was walking home by herself from a party. The party had started the night before. It had gone well into the early morning hours on the 16th, and at around 5:15 a.m., Madison had started walking home, thinking, I'm not too far away, I'll just walk home, it'll be fine. However, she very quickly realized she wasn't as close as she had thought she was, and she didn't even really know where she was at that point. She was mixed up and turned around. Madison ended up walking around town, not sure if she was walking in circles or going in the same or different direction, and was walking around for about 2 hours. She also wasn't able to use her phone, and I'm not sure if that's because she wasn't within range of service or if it was dead at this point, but for whatever reason, she couldn't use her phone. Then, at around 7:30 a.m., a van pulled over. The person driving the van was a man, but Madison said he didn't seem weird and he didn't seem scary. Honestly, he was acting more like he was worried about her, seeing this young girl walking by herself alone, seemingly confused or turned around. So Madison explained her situation to him, and he very calmly just told her, you can get into the van, I'll help you out by letting you use my phone, and we can figure all of this out. Now, Madison said that at this point, after a very long night of partying and now walking for 2 hours with no end in sight, she didn't necessarily think that it was a bad idea. She was kind of out of options, in her opinion. And really, she thought that it would end up saving her time, since this guy probably knew where he was, at least. So she very clearly didn't. He would at least be able to say, oh, we're at the cross streets of X and Y. Where do you live? How far away are we? And not to mention, he said he had a phone, so he could probably pull up a map. She could use his phone to call someone. Maybe she could call her mom. So she wasn't super reluctant or worried. However, Madison said that as soon as she got into the van and shut the door, the alarm bells inside of her immediately started going off. The guy that she had felt safe with just a few moments earlier had now rolled up the windows and locked the doors. So she started to get a really weird feeling that maybe she should not have gotten into this van after all. However, she was hoping in her gut that she was just being overly dramatic, that she was just being paranoid. But then things started to get even scarier. Madison, now trying to distract her very worried mind, asked this guy if she could use his phone. However, he told her that she couldn't use his phone because his phone was also dead. Now, he had already offered up the phone, so it was at this moment that Madison knew. She knew that this guy had not pulled over with good intentions. So she started to panic. She started yelling at him, telling him over and over again to pull over, let her out now, screaming. But the guy acted as if he couldn't even hear her. He wasn't trying to calm her down. He wasn't telling her that she was safe. He wasn't trying to reassure her and say, I'm not trying to scare you. It's okay. I'm just trying to help you. He just sat there, totally silent, staring at the road ahead. I cannot even imagine how terrifying that would be in those moments, to have reality setting in of the kind of danger that you're in. You're screaming, trying to plead with this person to get out. Let me out. Get me the fuck out of your car. And he's just acting as though he doesn't hear anything, just driving straight ahead. Ugh, it's the worst. So then, during all of this, the man reached over to his side and he pulled out a gun, pointing it right at Madison. He also started to drive faster, like he was in a hurry to get wherever he was going. Now, at this point, Madison said that her fight or flight mode really kicked in. The adrenaline was ramped up, and she knew that she had to make a very quick decision. So she unlocked the van door, and she literally rolled out of the van onto the pavement. Now, this guy was driving very, very fast, but Madison didn't care. She knew she needed to get the hell out of that van. And the truth is, could she have gotten hurt jumping out of a vehicle that was moving so fast? Of course, absolutely. But she also knew that if she stayed in the van, she probably was not going to live. Whether this man was driving her somewhere to ultimately kill her, or if he was going to shoot her right then and there, she knew that there was no way to talk him into letting her go. And I want to just pause for a moment and say this too. I've said this in some of my other case episodes where we have talked about abductions while people are out for a jog or running or really anything. The number one thing that I want all of you to please remember: never get in the car. Even if somebody is attacking you on the side of the road and they're like, just get in the car, and you think, okay, I'll fight once I get in there, I'll beg and plead or I'll fight them off.